All players have one thing in common. They rely on ambiguity, emotion, and predictability to keep you engaged in their game. They bank on the fact that you're unaware of their tactics, too emotionally invested, and your actions are easy to predict. But what happens when you flip the script and become the strategist instead of the pawn in the game? As the saying goes, knowledge is your power, and your moves are your weapons. But understand that what you learn from this video isn't about becoming manipulative or resorting to their tactics. Rather, it's about learning and understanding how she thinks so that you don't fall for her mind games anymore. The aim here is not to outplay, but to play wisely, to ensure your emotional well-being and integrity aren't compromised in the face of these games. Let's get started. First, understand the game. Understanding what's going on is the first and most important step. The player often relies on a lack of clarity to continue playing their game. So recognize the signs: inconsistent behavior, playing hot and cold, evasiveness, or treating your feelings nonchalantly. Identifying these patterns can give you the upper hand. However, it's important not to jump to conclusions. Everybody can have off days, and these behaviors aren't always indicative of manipulation. It's when they become consistent that you need to become alert. This isn't about becoming paranoid, it's about being perceptive. By doing so, you empower yourself. You'll be less prone to getting caught up in the cycle of games and confusion. Also, it'll help you to strategize and act more deliberately. In essence, you're moving from being a mere pawn to becoming a player. Let's continue. Second is emotional detachment. Games can't be played without an emotional response. And that's what the player often preys on: your emotional reactions. Hence, learning to maintain emotional detachment is vital if you want to counter the player's tactics. You need to stay calm, keep your emotions in check, and refuse to let their actions dictate your emotional state. This isn't about becoming stoic or apathetic, but about managing your emotional reactions effectively. You don't need to ignore your feelings. Acknowledge them, but don't let them control your actions or decisions. This way, you can think clearly and act more logically, which is crucial when dealing with a player. Emotional detachment isn't something that happens overnight. It requires patience and practice. The key is to be mindful of your reactions and gradually learn to control them. Over time, you'll find yourself less emotionally affected by her actions, which will disrupt her gameplay. Third is be unpredictable. Routine might be comfortable, but it's also predictable. And predictability is a disadvantage when dealing with a girl who is playing you. The player thrives on predicting your reactions and actions. Thus, being unpredictable is a valuable tool. This doesn't mean you have to turn your life into a whirlwind of chaos. It's about subtly mixing things up and keeping her guessing. Don't always be available when she wants to meet. Don't always respond to her messages immediately. These small changes can add an element of unpredictability that makes it harder for her to play her games. Being unpredictable keeps things interesting. It also keeps you in control of the game. When she can't predict your moves, it disrupts her gameplay, which can give you the upper hand. And who knows, you might find that a little unpredictability makes life more exciting. Fourth is value your time. Let's talk about the value of your time. Time is one of your most precious resources, and it's important to communicate this fact as a high-value man. If you're always available at her beck and call, it sends the message that you don't have anything better to do, which puts you at a disadvantage. Start treating your time as the valuable asset it is. Have other commitments and interests that you prioritize. This not only helps maintain your self-esteem, but also conveys a message that your time can't be taken for granted. The bottom line is, don't cancel your plans to accommodate hers. Stand your ground. She needs to understand that your time is valuable and that you have other priorities. Doing so may result in her treating your time with more respect, and thus disrupting her gameplay. 5 is set boundaries. By setting boundaries, you're communicating what behavior is acceptable and what isn't. It's crucial to express these boundaries clearly because it further emphasizes your value. But this doesn't mean you need to be confrontational. Instead, voice your concerns calmly and assertively. and let her know what's acceptable and what crosses the line. These boundaries need to be respected. If she continues to cross them, it might be a sign that you need to reconsider the relationship. In a game with a player, maintaining respect for your boundaries can disrupt her games and tilt the scales in your favor. 6 is keep your options open. Keeping your options open might sound like a bold strategy, but it's an effective one. When you're stuck on one person, it's easy to get caught up in their games. You may even start to lose sight of other potential relationships. Be open to meeting new people. This doesn't necessarily mean you should start dating everyone you meet, but maintaining an openness towards new connections can provide a healthy balance in your life. In doing so, you'll demonstrate to her that you're not singularly fixated on her. This sends a strong message. You are someone desirable who has options, which can disrupt her gameplay significantly. Plus, who knows? You might even meet someone who values and respects you for who you are. 7 is patience. Reacting hastily or out of frustration can play right into her hands. Remember, she may be looking for an emotional reaction from you. Instead, take a step back, breathe, and be patient. Don't let her actions provoke you into making impulsive decisions. Responding thoughtfully and deliberately can leave her guessing and disrupt her game. Moreover, patience allows you to observe her actions and understand her gameplay better. And this understanding can give you an upper hand. So as hard as it may be, practicing patience can turn out to be your trump card. Last but not least, show confidence. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, show confidence. Confidence can be a game changer in any situation. Here's why. People often play games because they think they can get away with it. By projecting confidence, you're showing her that you can't be easily manipulated. This doesn't mean being arrogant or confrontational. Instead, it's about believing in yourself and your worth. Know that you deserve to be treated with respect and kindness, and don't settle for less. Confidence disrupts her gameplay by showing her that her games won't work on you. It makes you a hard target and can deter her from playing games. So stand tall, believe in yourself, and let your confidence shine. These strategies can provide a general framework to help you navigate this situation, but they might not always yield the desired results. If you find that these strategies aren't working, it might be time to reassess the relationship. You may need to consider whether this relationship is beneficial to you and worth the emotional turmoil. That's all for today, guys. I will meet you with next valuable videos. Make sure you subscribe the channel. Have a nice day.